Hello, this is Survival-gyver, and please pardon my voice, it's getting worse. Today we're taking a look at the Gerber Fast Draw. It's a spring-assisted knife with a 3-inch bead blast plain edge blade. They come in two other versions. They come with a serrated blade and with a Tonto style, also with a serrated blade. Now, I like serrated blades. But when you just want something dedicated, that's a plain edge, that's an auto assist, this isn't horrible for Gerber. So, and what do I mean by that? So, me and Gerber quality assurance or quality control has always been a problem. They've never contacted me about any of it, but whatever. They just have a quality control issue. So this is their Gerber Fast Draw. It's a nice little light-duty knife. It's higher priced than I think it should be, unfortunately, but it is what it is. It is a deep carry. See where that is towards the very edge, the butt of the knife. It is a very deep carry knife, which is really nice. The steel is a 440 high carbon steel. And that's about all Gerber says about it. It doesn't tell you if it's what kind of 440 steel it is. So it's probably something pretty generic. You know, they could have made this with a D2 steel and it would have been friggin' awesome. For the amount of abuse it would take. So anyway, you have a locking mechanism. So you cannot, blade won't move unless you unlock it. Once you unlock it, it'll then close. And in this position, you can automatically open it again, or you can push this lock down so you don't see the red dot anymore. For that lock position, you won't be able to open it up. So that is a nice little safety feature. Now back onto red, so I call it live. It's you can simply open it now, and it opens up quite well. Now closing it, you can close it one-handed. The spring is not crazy high tension. It takes a little bit more time to get used to, since now you have to push down on the blade at the same time with the top of your finger. But it is doable. So this can be a one-handed knife. It's not listed as such. It is listed as a two-handed knife. But with a little bit of tweaking on how you open and close, it'll be fine. So we're going to push up. Now, when you push up on this, you can feel it kind of got a janky spring feeling to it. And I put that with the quality of the handle. The handle is a garbage quality. It's just a like a thermoplastic, polymer thermoplastic. If they put something better on here, like a G10 or a flax or something like that, would be far better than this. The blade itself is actually quite good, other than the lack of jimping. It's got that little amount for jimping, and it's smooth. It's like, let's see if I can get this to show here. It's barely anything there. My glove in the background has more texture than the jimping on this knife does. So, unfortunately, your finger just slides on it with little to no care. So, I would have preferred if they jimped the back of this a little bit better. That would definitely prevent your finger from going forward. Or, pretty much right here would have helped. Now, why am I wearing a glove? Well, I cut the top of this finger. Not on this knife. Not on any of my knives. But instead of constantly wearing band-aids that are constantly coming off, I'll just wear a nitrile glove anyway. So, got a nice silver coating on it. Kind of like a stone wash, but not quite. I think it is actually coated. It is plain edge. You can see I've had to sharpen it a couple of times. So the nose geometry, very point geometry, is not perfect anymore. Now, it's sharp, which is good, which is unusual. Gerber is known for nice looking knives that are dull. This is pretty sharp. My only complaint about this knife is the literal lack of jimping and the quality of the handle. But other than that, it's light. We're talking about 3.4 ounces. That's pretty good. Now, some of the Gerbers will actually tell you the name on the back, but this looks like it just has a serial number 1911-22-2A. That can mean a whole lot of things for being on 1911, almost like a gun. 2A at the end, 2A rights kind of thing. So that could mean a lot of things. It's probably just a serial number per batches. The actual model number of this is the 22-47162. It does have the thumb studs. It is ambidextrous. I am not an ambidextrous person. You can do it with two hands that way. Yes, you can open it with left hand. To close it left-handed, you have to push on this spring here, this lock, up, and close at the same time. And with the clip in the way, that's a problem. So, then in which case you'd have to do this two-handed. You push up on that one side and then close on that side. And of course, push the lock down then to make sure you don't accidentally open it again. So let's open this back up. Maybe not. There we go. So, it's not made for left-handed people. It does list it as ambidextrous, and I do find it a little difficult if you're trying to use your left hand. But again, I'm not left-handed, so I'm just trying to figure it out. Overall length is 7¼ inches. Blade length is 3 inches. It's got a bead blast finish, drop point, plain edge type. Handle length is 4¼ inches. It comes in black. Frame is steel. It is a right hand pocket clip, and it is a spring assist. So the spring I do like on this. It's like most springs are really, really high tension. This is not. So that's pretty good. The only other little iffy thing that I don't like is those two little indents right there. I would have preferred it smooth over, but I think it was originally. Those little indents that are there are the thumb studs, where the thumb stud hits the frame. So, that's just a little thing to notice. So is the frame weaker, or is it just made that way? Adding that little, tiny little bevel right there, because they do look off-center, like one is larger than the other, which would suggest that the blade is not centered. So let's take a look. Okay, there's no movement up or down, or this way, in either direction. Let's close this up, see where the blade sits. Blade does sit to one side. It's a little hard to tell, but it does. If you look in this position, it does sit off to one side, and that might explain why the thumb stud wear on one side is different than the other. But again, not horrible. Only thing I don't like about it, this really is the handle and the price. The price on this, right now it's on sale at Blade HQ for about $40. I'll list the Blade HQ site for that, and I will list Amazon. Amazon price right as of this is $42.80. And Tractor Supply, because Tractor Supply does carry this as well, it's about $45 at Tractor Supply. So I did a little bit of research before picking one up. So that's about it on this. It's light, and it functions well to open. It's got a nice opening mechanism. It seems to be pretty solid. I just don't like the handle. I'm wondering if the plastic handle is like that because of this lock. I'm not exactly sure how that lock works, but when you push it up, it feels like it's pushing against the spring mechanism for this. So I'm thinking that's what that's about. Maybe that's why they went with a plastic handle. But, otherwise it feels okay. It's a little on the slick side in one direction. Following the grain, it's a little slick. But other than that, it's not bad.
So that's it. Questions or comments, leave it below, and I'll answer them as soon as I can. It may take a little while because I'm sick. Obviously, my voice is getting worse. But yeah, I'll leave the link where you can get this as a both fine edge, a serrated, and a Tonto. It'll all be on the main Amazon page. It'll be the very first link in the description. So if you want to take a look, it'll be there. The Blade HQ one will be just below that if you want to take a look at Blade HQ. I do like them for their amount of knowledge they have on like specifications. Amazon has barely any specifications on any knives, but Blade HQ has a really nice setup on that, so I will link that in the description as well. That is it. Questions, comments, leave them below, and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Like it if you can. Subscribe. I really am not going to ask anymore. And that's it. So thank you for watching, and have a glorious day.